Yo, shalom, shalom, family. Welcome back to another episode of Newsball. You already know it's your brother, Daliyahu Yasharal, keeping you up to date with what's happening on the African continent, man. We back with more Newsball, global news. You understand what I'm saying? Newsball is all about traveling, expatriation, helping you get out of Babylon, helping you flee confusion. But we got to bring y'all the news about what's happening outside of America. They not showing our people this. I'm from Miami, Florida. I talk to my people all the time. What I know is the news, what I see happening in Africa, the stuff that's relevant on this, and that's why I'm glad to be in Tanzania, because I'm in Tanzania, we in East Africa. And what you find when you come to East Africa, we in the middle of the world. When we pray to Jerusalem, we pray to the north because we parallel with it. You got the west on this side, China, India, Russia, and the east, and everything to the east on this side. We're right in the middle. And what I find is the news not being spread, it's not being evenly distributed. So we got an update for what's happening with y'all on the continent, right? So I know, shout out to everybody that watched the last video I did about Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, and everything, the developments they happening over there. And we got more news about recent developments about what's happening over there. And I know for me, I take it very seriously. Like I say, just bringing y'all global news. I'm on the continent, but I wanted to make sure I fact check the information as much as possible. And it turned out to be true. I checked out some articles. And major developments happening in Burkina Faso. Again, we see this military faction. The Sahel states have taken back power over the colonizers. I was going to say colonializers. The colonizers, they're kicking the colonizers out, taking back their own country. And they just made an even bigger move to not only put themselves in a position of sovereignty, but to make sure they in an economically stable position when they get ready to launch their currency and XYZ. So I don't want to talk about it too much. I want to bring out the news. Again, I'm in Tanzania, but we got some assistance with the graphics and the visuals for the story. We're talking about what we're talking about in Burkina Faso, but it is fact check, it's true. So let's look into what's happening with the official story. Ibrahim Traore he issues the order to ban gold export and use it to back the currency up. So that's what's up. So yeah, family, Burkina Faso has made some groundbreaking moves to not only stabilize their country, but to grow their wealth. You know, basically they're gonna keep their gold. So Ibrahim Traore, he is making some major moves on the continent. So let's tap in and get the story, see what's really going on.
That almost all African countries with the largest gold reserves export all their gold. In other words, foreign companies, mostly Western, come to African countries, mine gold, and take it with them to their countries. In return, a small fraction is paid instead of sharing profits and offering pure gold. That's why most African countries struggle to stabilize their economies. Their resources are being stolen. But guess what? The president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, has risen to challenge the West and their exploitative tactics. Just recently, he has issued an order that bans all gold exports. Instead, Burkina Faso will own this gold and will use it to back up its currency. In this way, Burkina Faso's currency will become the only one in the world that will be pegged by gold and therefore will become most valuable. But how has Ibrahim Traore banned gold exports?
That's crazy.
And how the West is responding?
The question is, why it took so long for African countries to get that done? Why Ibrahim Traore is putting Burkina Faso on the trajectory to be the richest African country. Like, out of 54 countries, what took these people so long to say, no, we want to keep our gold? And I mean, at a certain point, it seemed like common sense. But we know common sense ain't that common. And it ain't about that. Like, it's not, like, it's a lack of foresight of these African leaders. You know, a lot of them are still like puppeteers being controlled by the powers that be, the Western societies, the developed nations. And we see that, again, being in Tanzania with Magufuli, who was a very honorable president, and for me, one of the best. And he made changes. He made some decisions to keep his country open during the pandemic. The powers that be ain't like that. And the man ain't lived too long after that decision. But Tanzania is booming because of all the things that this man has done. So we know why it took so long. You got to have your gun in your hand, man. You got to really be ready to take a military stand against these people, because they come in suits and ties talking about diplomacy. But best believe you got to have your gun in your hand when talking to these people because they savages, straight up. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him and shout out to Burkina Faso. Y'all already know, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned because we're going to keep bringing y'all the news on what this man doing. For real, I definitely want to say this like right quick. I feel like what we watching right now is not just history, and it's kind of sound cliche to say that, but especially for me coming to Tanzania after me being inspired by hearing about Magufuli, hearing his speeches, hearing about his wisdom, how he, figured out that, COVID wasn't much of a threat. Like he tested and the test seemed like they was going to be positive no matter what he tested. He tested some fruit and it was positive. So that was a lot of wisdom. And the fact that man passed, I just feel like that was, in this day and age, that was like a Malcolm X. That was a Martin Luther King right there. You know what I'm saying? So same thing for this brother, like Ibrahim Traore, what's happening in Burkina Faso. Make no mistake about it, you guys. And I'm honored to be here on the continent just to put it into perspective. Because make no mistake about it, this history, bro. And we come from a place where we empowered as, as a diaspora, Black Americans. Somebody is just telling me this here in Africa. We some of the most fortunate group of Africans on the planet. We some of the most wealthiest class of Africans. But the point is, we came up under that white supremacy, and we've been empowered through education and economics. We got access to USD. But the point is, what these people are doing on the continent now is still nothing short of amazing, groundbreaking, because they literally have to take their own country back. We was like, obviously slaves in another people's country, but it's amazing what's happening in the world right now with the diaspora, with us moving around, and with the developments that's happening on the continent. I have to really, organize my thoughts and really keep things in perspective and understand how historical these things are. And that was an interesting statement that put things in perspective. Like, this is the first African country, to really take control of their own reserves. It's something that's like a no-brainer, but it hasn't been easy, right? So, all praise to the Most High, because we know it's a time and a place for everything. These developments have not come without, struggle or price to be paid, but we are watching the day when it's happening. So it's amazing, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about that. So let's get back to the news. I want y'all to really catch the news. And this is pretty much breaking. This really just happened. All this just happened.
Markets got shaken. Let's know about that in this video. What's happening in Burkina Faso is beyond even the imagination of those who want to see Africa always dependent. As of the latest news, Burkina Faso is making a major effort toward economic independence with the creation of its own Treasury Deposits Bank under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore. According to the government's official announcement, President Traore officially inaugurated the Treasury Deposit Bank, BDT, on Friday, August 2, 2024, at its headquarters within the public treasury in Kuluba. This launch is more than just the opening of a bank. It's a bold step toward reclaiming the nation's financial sovereignty. The BDT is designed to provide accessible banking services to all citizens, with a network extending through regional, provincial, and departmental treasuries to ensure everyone, regardless of location, can access these services. As a public financial institution, the Treasury Deposit Bank will cater to a wide range of clients, including public institutions, state companies, local authorities, international organizations, private businesses, NGOs, and individuals. Its primary mission is to manage the banking functions of the public treasury, offering services like account management, resource collection, and transaction processing. Additionally, the BDT will introduce digital payment methods and develop innovative banking services to meet the evolving needs of its customers.
They just now getting like you say, in March, April, they just made an announcement, or I think they just finished building the first gold reserve or the refinery or whatnot. But now they pretty much just getting the country's first state bank. You know what I'm saying? So it is amazing. Again, the changes, the developments that's happening. A lot of this stuff is like, again, coming from developed nations. We would have, some of us, we expect to see it already, but it's amazing to be watching it happen even more. So it's like, sometimes the later the better. It's still the fact that it's happening that's all that really matters right now, because again, that is the beginning of something great happening on the continent. So you can't really like stress that enough. This is amazing. It's history. It's historical. It's groundbreaking. This what's up, man.
The establishment of the Treasury Deposit Bank is a crucial step for Burkina Faso in its journey toward full monetary sovereignty.
It's all about the money.
For years, Francophone countries like Burkina Faso have been denied true central banks, relying instead on institutions like the Central Bank of West African States, often seen as mere extensions of the Bank of France. This arrangement has allowed European countries, which lack their own gold mines, to accumulate large gold reserves that are, in reality,
and this is how I get the fact checking all these articles. That's why I like how they putting the articles in here. You can go Google these articles. You can see the timeline of what this man is doing in Burkina Faso, which is amazing. And you know, we in Tanzania, Carrie Boo Tanzania. We want to help you guys assist with the tours and anything we can, repatriation services in this country. But we look forward to going to Burkina Faso. I'm looking forward to going to Burkina Faso. Hopefully we could plan a tour and we could go over there. Maybe we could come and subscribe, man. Get in the game, join the community, because that may be something we try to put together. We may have to go over there and really, we can fact check stuff to the internet, but sometimes we might have to put boots on the ground. We might have to plan a little tour over there. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Burkina Faso now, as much as I've been reading about it, studying about it, talking about it. You know, again, some groundbreaking things going on the continent. Nothing short of amazing, man. So y'all tap in.
Plundered from African nations. President Ibrahim Traore is fully aware of this exploitation, where foreign companies extract vast amounts of gold from Burkina Faso while the country sees little of its wealth. In response, Traore has taken decisive action by banning gold exports and reclaiming control over the nation's resources. Under his leadership, the military junta has suspended the issuance of export permits for artisanal and semi-mechanized gold and other precious commodities, effective immediately. In other words, no gold mined inside Burkina Faso will leave Burkina Faso's borders. Ibrahim Traore explicitly said that this suspension is aimed at cleaning up the sector and better organizing the marketing of gold and other valuable resources.
And if you guys are not aware, actually, again, here in Tanzania, which also is very rich in minerals, again, some very peculiar minerals that are only unique to Tanzania, like the Tanzanite gemstone, but also a lot of gold, a lot of silver here as well. But the aforementioned previous president Magufuli did the same type of thing. I heard about that when I came. He had to make some changes to the mining sector. People was getting permits too easy. A lot of corruption going on, taking the gold out of here for pennies on the dollar. They were saying they transporting sand, like literal sand off the beach. They even on the export document, they put that they transporting sand, and they got containers full of gold. So this type of mismanagement of resources has been running rampant throughout the continent, and it's like, it's amazing. It's 2020, 2024, like the time period we in, that this stuff is just now being like exposed. Like, this is breaking news, man, for real. So yeah, man, we gotta really applaud these governments, because again, this stuff is not coming without a fight or a struggle.
Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Africa's geopolitics, economy, and Let's continue. You should know that approximately 10 to 30 tons of gold are mined artisanally in Burkina Faso. And from now on, Burkina Faso will be preserving this gold, in addition to gold from foreign companies. It turns out that Ibrahim Traore is in no mood to delay taking action. The Boucle du Mouhan region in the northwest of Burkina Faso has immediately seen the closure of 43 gold mining sites due to security concerns. But things don't stop at only banning. Burkina Faso's junta-led government reached a significant milestone with the launch of the country's first gold refinery, a crucial move towards gaining control over its most valuable mineral resource. The refinery, located in the capital, Ouagadougou, is expected to produce around 400 kilograms of gold per day, as reported by Ismail Saibi, CEO of Marina Gold, the company co-managing the project. Saibi announced that the refinery is projected to produce its first 22-karat gold bars in just 11 months. At the launch ceremony, Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, stressed the importance of refining gold domestically. He said that Burkina Faso no longer needs to send its gold abroad for refining. From now on, it will do it inside Burkina Faso, ensuring Burkina Faso knows the true content of the raw gold. Despite the central role gold plays in Burkina Faso's economy, the country has struggled to fully control this critical resource. Traore pointed out that much of the gold leaves the country through fraudulent channels, fueling ongoing extremism. This shift toward domestic gold refining comes at a time when many African nations are turning to gold as a hedge against currency losses and geopolitical risks. Countries like Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania, and Madagascar have announced plans to increase their gold reserves and purchase gold domestically. Concerns about the stability of the U.S. financial system and the potential weaponization of the
Get out, family. Flee Babylon. Get out of there now. I'm trying to make it easy. My goal is to make it easy as possible for anybody to come to Tanzania. Tanzania, for me, better than Miami. This is the new Miami. It's so lit over here. Environment beautiful, the weather beautiful, the people beautiful, the food is great, the economy is affordable. Like, man, the economic system is on life support over there, family. Gotta pay attention, man. Keep your eyes open, man. Tap in.
dollar are motivating these countries to diversify their reserves and reduce their reliance on the US dollar. However, the biggest threat is French control of African countries' reserves. Burkina Faso's new gold refinery represents a significant step towards securing its economic future, enabling the country to retain more of its wealth within its borders and reduce the illicit flow of gold that has been funding violence and instability.
Here's 3 reasons to crawl every day. Number 1, it makes...
And this gold will be used to build gold reserves, which will, in turn, smoothen the way for launching a sovereign currency. It's being reported that Burkina Faso's government is set to roll out several innovations to the 2015 mining code, which was recently updated in July 2023. Among the most significant...
Yes, sir. Talk to me. Yeah, boy. I don't like popcorn, man. Man, keeping the gold. Ibrahim Traore, he want the bling bling. I don't blame.
Significant changes is Burkina Faso's plan to establish a national gold reserve. According to the information from a Council of Ministers meeting held on March 20, 2024, Ouagadougou intends to ask mining companies to contribute to building this national gold reserve. The revised mining code also includes new regulations for marketing gold and other minerals, aiming to create a more structured and regulated industry. In other words, not only gold exports have been banned, but companies are being asked to offer gold to build national reserves. That's called true sovereignty that Africa needs. The new mining code also emphasizes increasing local participation in the mining sector. It requires mining companies to open their share capital to Burkinabe investors, enhancing the power of local officials to monitor and control mining activities. Additionally, the state's mandatory shareholding in mining companies, necessary for obtaining a license to operate large or small mines, has been increased from 10% to 15%. By the end of December 2022, Burkina Faso's declared artisanal gold production increased from 266 kilograms in 2021 to 457 kilograms in 2022. This increase in production has significantly boosted the state's revenue. Direct contributions to the state budget rose from 430.916 billion CFA francs in 2021 to 540.984 billion CFA francs in 2022, reflecting an increase of 110.068 billion CFA francs. Additionally, gold export revenues reached an estimated...
And that's the whole point. Once you start keeping your gold, soon we're not gonna have to deal with all this francs and CFA francs and all that. People finna have their own currency. So it's pretty much, that's the breaking news. As you keep the gold, what they're telling us is we got a new currency coming in Africa. So that's the real news out of this whole situation. But it's still developing. So now we know what's going on. We know what to expect. We know what to be looking out for as news about this situation continue to occur and drop. Now we know what's going on already.
2,099.1 billion CFA francs, accounting for 73.86% of Burkina Faso's export revenues, and reinforcing gold's position as the country's leading export product since 2009. What Ibrahim Traore has achieved is phenomenal. On one hand, he has banned gold exports, and on the other, he unveiled the country's own gold refinery that will take care of the raw gold. Then, gold from all these sources will be funneled toward the country's first state band, which will peg the currency with this gold. You should know the CFA franc will no longer continue. A new currency will be launched, and gold will be used to back up this currency, not the CFA franc. The moment this happens, Burkina Faso will get rid of the colonial financial system, gaining sovereignty to manage its own capital. What do you think? Should other African presidents do the same and ban gold and precious metals exports? Isn't it true that all African leaders have to be united to bring a sustainable change that can prosper Africa? In the comments section right below, share your thoughts on the fact that Africa has more than sufficient natural resources to thrive even better than Europe.
You already know it, man. Y'all tap in the comments, and that's the whole point, man. That was the gist of that video right there. That's what he was talking about. So huge developments, and like they were saying, you need to control your currency to be a sovereign nation. That is what sovereignty is. If you guys hear me talking about the scriptures, we talking about, again, Free Babylon. We got the ministry Living for Yahuwah, the podcast Daily Bread. Anytime when I'm reading the scriptures, we see the word king, but in some translations they put sovereign. And it's like, when I first saw that difference, I'm like, what's a sovereign? What's a king? Why is it sovereign? Like, he prays king with sovereign. King is a sovereign. Sovereign means you make your own decision. America is a sovereign nation. It's supposed to be. I don't know how much Britain really, it's still Britain, baby. It's baby London, right? But these places, especially London, like they claim to be sovereign. We got a king, and that's a sovereign, right? And he make decisions on all his territory, this place, that place. So we want to be sovereign in Africa. That means taking responsibility, taking the control. You know, again, possession is 9/10 of the law. It can be yours, but if somebody else in possession of your stuff, you got to work to get it back. You got to prove that you own it now. So that's why you have to kick them people out. So this is literally what's happening on the continent. As the diaspora come back, the fakes and the flakes get kicked out. You see what I'm saying? Like the controllers, the colonizers getting kicked out. So shout out to Ibrahim Traore. He want to bling bling. I don't blame him, man. Put your chains on, you feel, put your ice on, because Africa is really rich. You know, it makes no sense that countries like France with no gold mines, they got more gold reserves than places like Tanzania or Burkina Faso. Like, that's mind blowing. So it's been your brother, man, Daliyahu, with another update, global news, newsball, Free Babylon. Get out of there, man. Anything I could do to help y'all, tap in. That's what's really going on. That's what we're here for, to help facilitate the return of the diaspora to the continent. That's what we're here for, really. And the news is a part of that. That's how we do it. Keep you guys updated with certain stuff. You're not gonna see this on CNBC. This ain't gonna be on ABC. They telling you about Kamala all day. They talking about the debt. They talking about what's going down, but Africa going up. So y'all tap in, man. Shalom, shalom. Appreciate you guys for checking in, watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Shalom, shalom, family.